కాల్ ఎత్తమంటావు ఫోన్లో వీడియో కాల్ కాదు నాకు నార్మల్ కాల్ వస్తుంది ఎత్తేనా నీకు ఎత్తనే కాడ జాయినింగ్ వస్తుంది దాని తర్వాత ఆడ మైక్ వీడియో ఉంది ఆప్షన్ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్లా అంతే. ఓకే. ఆసిఫ్, ఏ బాబు ఆసిఫ్, ఆసిఫ్ ఏ ఎప్పుడు పోదాం? 7 గంటలకు వెళ్ళాం. ఉండు, అడుగుతావు. ఏమన్నా రెస్పాండ్ కాలేదు.
సెకండ్ దా ఫస్ట్ దానా
ఓకే.
So except Aswati, all of you have access to laptop or desktops. Okay, Rumana doesn't have. So can you guys who have joined from mobiles, can you join now from laptops or desktops?
Sir, I'm having some network issues. That's why I've joined through phone.
Okay, what about others?
Sir, I don't have laptop. I have only mobile.
Okay. So what we are planning is, I'm planning some assignments to give it to you. If we have computer, we can do it together. Okay, so that's what I have planned. But it's okay. I'll share you the material. You can take a printout. Okay. No, no, you don't have to borrow from others. It's okay. Okay, we can manage. No issues. If someone can give you, it's fine. Uh, but I'll share you the material of today's class, that templates. So you need to fill that forms and mail it back to me. Okay. Got it. This is. So today's class will be about, it will be very brief and it will be about few initial documents which are necessary in order to start the clinical trials. One is clinical disclosure agreement, confidentiality disclosure agreement, feasibility questionnaire, and investigator undertaking. You heard about these things before? I think we have discussed, right?
Yes, sir. Hari sir had mentioned about the feasibility ones.
Yes. Did he show you the templates? No.
Not sure, sir.
Okay. So you can see the screen, right? You can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see about confidentiality disclosure agreement. It is also called as non-disclosure agreement of NDA. It is there in place to protect confidentiality and proprietary information which a sponsor gives to the site or principal investigator. By signing this agreement, it is ensured that PI or his team will not disclose this confidential information with anybody. Okay? After this CDA is signed, all other information like what is the protocol inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria, sample sizes required, etc., is shared with the PI. Okay. So there are some important aspects of CDA which needs to be present in that agreement. First one is what will be the scope of the CDA, what all parameters will the CDA cover, and what is meant by confidentiality, which information is considered to be confidentiality has to be written, like patient information, all information provided in protocol, etc. And duration of confidentiality is important, up till what is the end of this agreement, until how many years you should maintain this confidentiality. Okay. And in some cases, most of the times investigator will sign this confidentiality disclosure agreement, but in some cases head of institutes will sign this CDA. So we have to make sure who is authorized to sign the CDA at that institute. Okay. Clear until now? So let us look at one document. Okay, before that, I'll tell you how to download these documents. As Hari discussed about global trials network. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, no, I am not able to hear. Did he discuss or not? No. So global trial, if you search for global health trials in internet, so you will find all the templates related to clinical trial documentation. So here all information is there. All the templates present related to clinical trials are present here. So if you type for CDA, confidentiality NDA template, from here I have downloaded this document. Got it? Similarly, feasibilities and IUs will also be present here. So this is how a confidentiality agreement looks like. Right? First, it will be who are the parties. One will be the sponsor company or CRO. Other will be investigator like Dr. Honest Abhishek. Abhishek, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So like that. And there will be background information of what is the scope of this agreement, okay? And who is what. The person who is giving the information, confidentiality information, will be referred as disclosure, and the person receiving the confidential information will be referred as recipient. In many cases, it will be as sponsor and site. We can call like that also. Okay. So this is the scope of agreement, and the common definitions and interpretations used in the agreement will be written here as we have discussed. So what will be covered under confidential information should be written in the CDA. So confidential agreement means appropriate information, visual, documentary, oral or electronic form in respect of disclosure, its affiliate, or so this is the information which comes under confidential information, right? And who does the recipient and representatives mean will be written here, like directors, officers, its employees, contractors, and its successors will also be coming under this CDA. Okay. And there will be rules of confidentiality, obligations of confidentiality, how the confidentiality should be maintained. See, here it is. So the confidential information should be there in strict confidence and not disclose or allow the disclosure of any person except recipient's representative. That means to sponsor person who needs to know the confidential information, because without you cannot conduct study, and that too for permitted purpose, and who are obliged to treat confidential information as confidential. Okay. Obviously, if you are sharing it with sponsor person or a CRO, they will treat it as confidential, right? Or any third party that the disclosure may approve in writing as person to whom disclosure may be made only on the same terms of this agreement, maybe like some service provider, etc. You can disclose only with the permission of sponsor. Okay, and you should use this confidential information only for the permitted purpose. And
Sir?
yes, yes.
Sorry for interrupting. What do you mean by service providers? Like, who would be them? Like, can you give me an example for that?
Like for example, there will be third-party IP destruction people. See, once the IP is used, okay, investigate and product is used, empty file this can be destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that also the empty files will also contain the IP name, hospital name sometimes, okay, site information, what is the constitution of it, manufacture, all that is also confidential information, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we send that to third party person, which sponsor permission, then we can share that information. We are already sharing what that means is. Understood?
Okay. Yeah. Understood.
So, and also if you are making with sponsor, any CRO person will also become another person, right? So the obligations of confidence in this agreement do not extend and okay. If there is any breach of confidentiality information, so agreement by receive, do all things reasonable, necessary, or required by the disclosure or the sponsor to prevent or restrain such breach or suspected breach. Okay. If he suspects any breach of confidentiality information has happened, first thing is it should be informed to the sponsor, and all necessary measures has to be taken to stop any further spread of leakage of that information, right? And the important point is, and you can share the information of the study, that too most of the time with the permission of sponsor, which is publicly available in public domain. For example, in CTRI website, there will be some information regarding trial, or any publication has been, interim publication has been already made related to this clinical trial. Then you can share that information with others. But no information shall be shared without sponsor publishing it in public domain. And also, recipient may disclose confidential information when it is required by law, court order, or by rules of stock exchange. So these things, stock exchange or will not never happen, but by law can happen. Like for DCGI coming for inspection, then you need to give the confidential information like patient's name to them to see also, right? See, now the duration of this confidentiality agreement is very important. So here this agreement applies for 5 years from the date of this agreement, right? Once they sign, it is enforced for 5 years. And what usually happens is all this once the confidentiality agreement is signed, feasibilities are sent. Now the CTA is signed. So in clinical trial agreement also, this clinical trial agreement will surpass this document most of the time. So all the confidentiality clauses will be present in CTA as well. So CTA will be enforced until the study is ended and the storage of documents is done. Okay. So that way, even if it's written here 2 years, but if the CTA is enclosed for 5 years, then still the confidentiality clauses are enforced on the site. So here, in what cases the information may be destroyed is written. And the confidentiality with the instruction of sponsor that too. If the confidentiality information is no longer required for permitted purpose, or if the confidentiality information needs to be uh, destroyed for some purpose, like it's finished or has been uploaded, like that. Just give me a moment. I'm getting some important call. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
So did you get an idea of how CDA works and looks?
Yes.
So I could have shown many documents in this class, but I don't want to overburden you.
Sir,
Yeah.
how will be the flow in the feasibility? Say, suppose first CDA will be signed, or CDA or NDA will be signed, and then the CTA will be finalized, or how is it?
Yeah, that's the reason we are going at a slow pace in this class also. So first CDA will be sent to the sponsor, so sent to the site,
Okay.
which PI principal investigator or needs to sign. Okay. Once the CDA will contain only these clauses. It will not contain any information related to study, what study it will. So, but usually verbally they will tell that this is the indication. So this would be the study. Okay, but they will not disclose more important information in that.
Okay.
So once the CDA is signed and sent to the sponsor or CRO, then they will release the feasibility questionnaires, okay, investigator undertakings and everything. Once they look at the feasibility questionnaires and they feel that this site is ready, maybe that at that time they can release the investigator undertaking also. So investigator undertaking will contain all the obligations which investigator has to follow. Like I have read the protocol, I wish to continue doing this study. Okay, I will maintain confidentiality. I will take care of well-being of patient like that. This is a basic document. So what I'll do is I'll draft a mail as a sponsor, and you all will be a CRC at a site. Let us assume. Okay.
Okay.
Now you will take this document, read it properly. So you should read it properly and tell me if there are any mistakes anywhere. Okay, or if you do not understand any point here, you should first search in Google and try to understand it. Okay. If you still don't find it, you should ask. So at the end will be signing party. That is on behalf of Kairos Research, so and so general counsel or anyone like responsible, anyone has authority to sign on that. On behalf of sponsor will sign. On behalf of PI will sign. Write his email and sign here. Okay. So this is about who is responsible from on behalf of research on CRO part and who is responsible on behalf of PI team. Okay. And other clauses will be what will be the governing law and jurisdiction. Okay. So it's always better to have jurisdiction at the place where your site is located. So most of the institutes, so here usually the point will be written that if any conflicts happen, which it should be settled in the jurisdiction or arbitrary of, let's say, Bangalore courts, like that. Okay. But many sites will prefer, if my site is in Hyderabad hospital, they will ask the sponsor to change it to Hyderabad codes. So that will be easy. Understand? So this is another one point you need to be careful about while checking. If you are at site level and if you are checking that CDS or any document, you should see under which jurisdiction they are mentioning the settlements to be made in case of any conflicts. And here finally, most of the times PI only will sign here. After that, sponsor will sign and send a copy back to you. Got it? So will you be able to get this signed?
So once the PI is signed, did a CRO is signing this final copy, or a sponsor is signing?
See, in some CDS, both signatures are required, but some only PI signs and send it to the CRO.
What type of a CDA doesn't require a CRO sign?
No, it depends on company to company's policies. That's all.
Oh, okay.
No type. It's up to the sponsor. Okay.
Okay.
So, for example, there is another document. But most of the time, both the parties will sign like this. Okay. So not most of the time, every time both the parties will sign. IU, it will be signed by in-only investigators. Okay. So this is another template of CDA. So like this is between a CRO, a CRO or clinical research organization like an SMO, and between site. Okay. Usually when SMOs are involved or any research organizations who is taking care of that site is involved, then the CDA will be signed between that SMO and the site as well. So that in future also, in case of any, for all studies which the SMO brings to the site, they will not disclose that information to others. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So this is like another format of CDA. So I'll share with you guys both of these documents. Okay. So you can keep your dad's name or mom's name as your doctor, or you can be a PI. You can search for any research company, a sponsor, and write the names here. Doesn't matter. Okay. So once I receive this document from you individually, I'll share you the feasibility. Understood? So feasibility questionnaire is like a general questionnaire. It is used to assess the site's capability. So it will collect all the site's information, its location, etc., to check if it is capable of performing the study. Okay. It basically contains the basic details of hospital. Like it collects basic details of hospital or site. It collects details of investigators who are participating in the study, their experience, their education qualifications, especially research experience, and they will see what facilities are available at hospital, like what equipments are present, how many beds are there, what kind of emergency department is present. Okay. And what kind of refrigerators are present there, centrifuges are there or not, and they will see laboratory details of the hospital. Is it accredited lab, enable accredited lab or not? Are all the devices calibrated there, etc. And they will see study specific patient pool. So if example, the study is being conducted on breast cancer, there will be questions related to that specific type of breast cancer. Let's say triple negative breast cancer. They will ask how many number of breast cancer patients visit your OP daily. So out of which, how many percent of them will be negative breast cancer patients. So how many do you think will fit in our inclusion criteria? So how many will you be able to randomize in a month? So like this kind of questions will be there, right? And they will collect information regarding to composition of ethics committee, what is the fees of ethics committee, EC registration number, okay, and what are the timelines of EC review. So once we submit those documents, study related documents, how much time the EC will take to review those documents. Got it? And they will ask for what is the agreements making process in the sites. There will be bipartite agreement, tripartite agreement. Usually what happens is agreements can be made between sponsor and principal investigator. Sometimes, that means signing final clinical trial agreement with including all budgets and all terms before starting a study will be signed by principal investigator and sponsor. Okay. If a CRO is involved, it will be signed by principal investigator, sponsor, and CRO. That becomes tripartite. Or sometimes CRO, principal investigator, and head of the institute, or any authoritative person in that institute. That also becomes tripartite. Okay. Or if the SMO is involved, these three people plus SMO, that becomes quadripartite agreement. So they will see what kind of agreements are made in the institute. Okay. These are the basic composition of any feasibility. So if the study requires any additional questions to be asked, they will ask in feasibility.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Could you explain again, or repeat again the types of agreements?
Types of
agreements, like you said, 2-party, 3-party agreements, right? Can you repeat it between whom and whom?
See, in some hospitals, agreement with principal investigator and sponsor is allowed. Okay. So it depends on how many parties are involved in that agreement, right? So in some hospitals, they allow their principal investigator to make directly agreements with sponsors and do clinical trials. Okay.
Okay.
Some principal investigator mean doctors.
Oh.
But in some hospitals, the signature of director's approval in that clinical trial agreement is must. Like for in many government hospitals. So 3 people are signing it. Who? Sponsor. Sponsor means sponsor can sign or CRO can sign. Okay. Most of the time, sponsor or CRO will sign. Okay. CRO will sign. Sponsor or CRO will sign. Investigator will sign. And head of institute will sign. Okay. So that becomes tripartite. So if only 2 people are signing, that becomes bipartite. If an SMO is involved, site monitoring organization is involved at site level, who are going to supply coordinators, who are going to overview entire clinical trial process. So sites can approach, when they are not experienced enough, sites can approach this kind of organization to provide them support running the clinical trials, right? So in that case, someone from SMO will also sign the agreement. Okay, then it becomes quadripartite. Got it?
Yes, sir, understood.
So they will ask. So some companies will not be favorable working with SMOs. Okay, so then they will not agree for quadripartite agreement. They will not. Some parties have some.
That will be a 3-party agreement, right?
Yes, 2 or 3 parties. Some company sponsors will not be comfortable doing quadripartite agreement. So they don't want too many parties in the CTA, right?
So that then in that case, sponsor, CRO, and PI, that will be a 3-party agreement.
Yes, 3-party agreement. If the other persons are involved, they will make separate agreements. Okay, like SMO is involved, they can make agreement with sponsor directly. So their agreement will be different, and this agreement will be different. Okay, so they will divide that agreement. That's all.
Oh, okay. So if a sponsor, SMO, and PI is involved, then that is what type of agreement, sir?
That's tripartite. No, this tripartite or bipartite is based on number. That's all. It's not a type. It's just based on number.
Okay. Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
So basically, that's what the sponsor wants to know. First, so is the site doing bipartite or tripartite? So most of the time only these two happen. Okay. So that's what sponsor wants to know. So depending on which time to getting signature also will vary, right? Okay, let's see some feasibility questionnaire. You'll get an idea. So have you purchased the binders?
We'll purchase this weekend, sir.
Okay, please purchase at least a file, any file, 2-3 files to purchase. One we will do make it as a studies file. So usually how it happens is all the study related this kind of documentation other than patient files and labs are placed in site specific binder called trial master file. Okay, all these trial agreements, all the EC notification, etc. will be placed in trial master file. So as we have started doing this assignments or practical work, so at the end of this class you should have a proper trial master file at your home. Okay, that's the reason we are starting it very slowly, but in later classes we'll pick up more pace. So basic institution details will be there like this. What is the type of institute? It also matters. So policies in private institute will be different, in public institute will be different, and the time period for approving the studies will be different by EC in both institute, and the patient pool will be different. So the sponsor wants to know what kind of institute it is, okay, and where is it located, state, country, mobile number. This is also important. So they want to know if the site has any accreditation like NABH, NABL accreditation. Okay. How many department does have? So what is the director qualification name, etc. So this basic information of site will be there, like number of beds, how many patients visit the OPD per day. So this is a generic feasibility questionnaire. It's a template, but usually they will ask. So if we are doing any study related to lung cancer, medical oncology study, doctor, then they will ask how many patients visit medical oncology department per day, like that. Or there could be both questions, like generally in entire hospital how many patients visit per day, and in your department how many they visit. Like they want to know if this site has separate clinical research department or not, dedicated clinical research department or not. So sometimes there will be a established clinical research department, like Apollo Hospital has its own clinical research department. Basavatarakam Hospital in Hyderabad has its own clinical research department. Sometimes the site may not have clinical research department. PI directly employs a coordinator and does the study. Okay.
If a site has its own research department, then that will be what like agreements.
No, agreements will be same. See, the reason for asking this question is like sponsor wants to know how much easy it will be or how much efficiently the site will be able to do the study. Okay, by having this dedicated clinical research department, it will be easy, right? So there will always be CRCs employed throughout the year. So if for example, there is no dedicated clinical research department at that hospital. Now the PI has to employ CRC only if he gets study. Otherwise, why is he going to pay them, right? But if there is a department, there will be multiple trials going on. So that will fund the CRCs or other staff who can take care of trials.
Understood.
Right? And this is important question also, and they want to know how many studies are currently ongoing. By getting this information, they will know what kind of time the PI can dedicate to this study, and they will also ask questions regarding, let's say example, stage 4 lung cancer study they are planning to do. They will also ask, are there any competitive studies which are ongoing in the hospital? Okay, so if there are studies different drug, but for the same indication, then it will become competitive, and they might not recruit a good number of patients. So how many physicians, doctors? So this is basic questions. And they will ask about laboratory facilities. Okay. So you have to, along with the feasibilities, always you have to share CVs, CVs of the doctors, principal investigator, your co-investigator, your lab head, and their medical registration certificate and GCP certificates of principal investigator and co-investigators as well. Okay. So most of the time, sponsor will ask for these certificates along with feasibilities. Okay, so they will ask what kind of equipments. So this will be study specific. Okay, so if the centrifuge machine is required in any study, that will be written here. Yes, no, or if you can procure locally, what would be the cost? So like this, it will be. So does the site have non-imaging lab facility like biochemistry, like hematology lab, and you have to share their details. Again, so this is something about agreements which we have discussed. Okay. So what is the type of agreement site is participating? Tripartite, tetrapartite, quadripartite, like that. So is there any legal person to review the clinical trial agreement at the site? Yes or no? So this can be, there could be a budget committee at hospital also. So that committee along with ethics committee. So in some hospitals, there two committees will review along with ethics committee. Budget is reviewed by budget committee. There will be separate committee called budget committee. Okay. Once the budget committee reviews the study budget, then ethics committee will look for its scientific parameters. So if yes, in what timelines that will be reviewed, right? So they will ask about financial aspects. What is the admission charges? What is the issue charges, etc. And there will be details about ethics committee. Okay. You know how to search for ethics committees online?
No, sir.
See, just you have to type in Google, that's all. Ethics committee search. List of re-registered. So these are older ethics committees, and these are newer ethics committees. That's what re-registered means. So you can go to list of registered ethics committees. See, it will be registered by the name of hospital, right? So if you want to know if the hospital around you is doing clinical trials or not, most of the time they will have their own ethics committee nowadays. Okay, they can approach ethics committee of other hospitals which is 50 kilometers radius from them, but most of the sites will have their own ethics committee. So can you tell any of the hospital name you suspect are doing clinical trials around you, but you don't know? No? Yes?
KMC.
AMC.
KMC. Kasturba Medical.
Kasturba Hospital. This is Gujarat?
No, sir, in Bangalore.
Institutional system, Kasturba Hospital. It's there in Gujarat. You are speaking of Bangalore, right?
Mangalore.
Mangalore. Okay, but this is not popping up. So you can also see in re-registered ethics committee that might be. Let's see. What is that hospital? Kasturba
Kasturba Medical College.
College?
And hospital. Mangalore, yeah.
Yes, let's see. So I just wanted to, okay. Mangalore, yeah, this is medical called Lighthouse Hill.
Yeah.
So here you got, no? So like this, so there is ethics committee means obviously they are doing clinical trials there. So this is their approval letter. See, these will be conditions of registration of ethics committee. What should be the composition, etc., etc. Okay. So when I share you this document, feasibility document, you can complete the ethics committee registration number from here, right? Name and registration number, any ethics committee your wish, doesn't matter. So most of the time, this is a generic worldwide feasibility questionnaire, but when it comes to India, they will ask for this is ethics committee registration number, when is the expiry of that registration, right? And who is the contact person, what is the ethics committee fees, and they will ask what are the checklist of document which your ethics committee asks in order to approve the clinical trial. Most of the time, these will be the documents. Some ethics committee might ask some additional documents like additional synopsis, 10 copies of additional synopsis, etc. So they will ask what are the documents, how many sets of documents are required, and coming to informed consent form, how many languages of informed consent form is required. Let's say I'm in state of Telangana, Hyderabad. So I require, my institute will require Telugu, Hindi and English informed consent form. You are there in Gujarat, you will require different informed consent form. So they will ask for this documentation and how many sets of documents are required also they are going to ask. Got it? Like this, how many copies and what will be the fee. So there will be separate fee for initial ethics committee review and later subsequent reviews. I mean for amendments, okay? For initial ethics committee review, the fee will be high, like maybe 30,000, 35,000, 20,000. But for subsequent amendment, it will be less. So the same they will also ask, and they want to know how many days or how many weeks the approval process will take. Got it? So understood till now?
Yes.
So they will ask you something about space and equipment. This will be mostly related to clinical trial. Okay? The equipments required in clinical research. So how much storage space is available? Is the space available for archival, for storing the documents for 15 years or not? Okay? Proper cupboards are there or not? Refrigerator is present, which should be calibrated, right? That the site have dedicated drug storage cupboard. So sometimes there will be drugs will be stored at room temperature. So that's the same thing they are asking. So there will be something called as normal centrifuge and cold centrifuge also. So if the study required your samples to be processed in cold centrifuge, then they will ask you about that. Deep freezer facility like -20 is there and -70 will also be there. Some samples need to be stored in -70. So they will get an idea by seeing this form. They will get an idea of what kind of equipment that is present in your hospital. So how many of you are going to hospitals now?
I'm going to hospital, sir.
So many are going, right?
Yes, sir.
So whoever are going are working in hospital. So next time you go to hospital, so you can download any protocol, pick a protocol and collect all this information. Okay, what is present in your hospital. So refrigerator does not mean refrigerator present or not. So is it calibrated or not is important. So you can go to your hospital lab and check what kind of refrigerator is present, etc. The last will be Next will be investigator profile, like what is his qualification, clinical research experience. But most of the time, we will also attach the CV with all these details. So I want to know what kind of trials he has done, in what phases, and also in what indications. Okay. So will you act as a key opinion leader? In clinical trials, some investigators will be selected as a key opinion leaders. Like in case of any side effects coming more, or if a decision needs to be made, like the dose from 600 mg to 400 mg need to be reduced at some point of clinical trial, it was decided due to some reason. Then these key opinion leaders' opinion will be taken along with medical scientists and others in the sponsor. So these key opinion leaders' opinion will also be taken. Got it? And there will be questions related to clinical research staff. So how many CRCs do you have? What kind of nursing staff do you have, and how much clinical trial experience they possess, etc. So like this is something disease specific or protocol specific. They will ask like what kind of indication patients are coming, and what is the standard of care given to them. This is very general feasibility form. And at the end, your investigator will sign and date the feasibility form. So moving forward, there are other templates also. There are different versions of feasibilities. So when I send you the document, you can fill up to here, page number 14 or 16. I'll add the signature. Okay, here from till here you can fill. Got it? Will you be able to do it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you go to your hospital. If someone is working in clinical trials there, you can collect their information also. Just you can tell this just a exercise. If there is an ethics committee at your hospital, you can find out what kind of documentation they are collecting. You can write it here. And most of the time, after these things are filled, sponsor sends something called as investigator undertaking. So this investigator undertaking, along with investigator undertaking assures the sponsor from investigator side what all his obligations or duties are. Okay. And this investigator undertaking will be sent to DCJ as well. So this is the PI who is going to conduct the study for us. So he has given us the undertaking that he has read all the protocol and is going to conduct the study according to all applicable rules and regulations, along with other documents which needs to be sent to DCJ. This will also be sent. The investigator undertaking which you are sending to sponsor, they will send it to DCJ as well. This will be very simple document. Okay. This will contain information of your investigator. Okay, name and address investigator, name and address, qualification of investigator, his medical council number, GCP certificate, etc. And it will contain all the clinical laboratory facilities which will be used in the study. Okay, for processing. So if you are using central lab, so if you are processing samples at locally, it will call as local lab. But if you are shipping that sample, okay, to other place with the which sponsor has arranged for you, then that is called a central lab. So all the local lab facilities and central lab names and addresses should be written here. Okay, and you will write the name and address of ethics committee who is responsible for reviewing this project, and you will write the details of your co-investigators, their designation and address, Address means it's not required to write their house address. You can write the hospital address, right? And you can also write your coordinator's address, coordinator details as well. But most of the time, only COI or sub-I investigator will be present in IU. Others will not be there. So protocol title, study number, it will be there anyhow. And these are basic commitments. We have seen in new clinical trial tools, right? What are the commitments given in IU? So these are the same commitments which are present. So it will be, even if they sign and give the IU, that doesn't mean they must do the study. Okay. So they will do the study only until all necessary ethics committee and regulatory approvals have been obtained. Until then, PI will not start the study. Okay. And they will do according to current protocol. They will not do any protocol. They will try to avoid protocol deviations, violations, etc. Personally, they agree to personally conduct or supervise the clinical trial. So these are some basic duties of investigator, which investigator agrees and signs here. So this investigator is Dr. Friendly Sripriya. Sripriya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So you can keep anyone's name. It doesn't matter.
I will not sign this, sir,
Why?
because my name is wrong. Spelling is wrong.
What is your spelling? No, you can edit it. So I am sponsor. I might not know your name. That's the reason I'm sending you, right?
Okay.
So
I was just kidding. SHR.
once I send you, you have to edit it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So these are only the 3 documents I wanted to discuss today. So I don't want to overburden you with documents in one day. So until now, do you have any doubts?
Oh, sir.
No, yes. Do you think you will get while filling the document?
Yeah, I may get.
Might, sir. They might get.
Yeah. So initially, I got many doubts. I don't know about you. You will also get. Okay. So I'll mail you the documents today. So can you get it printed out tomorrow morning? So do you have a WhatsApp group?
Yes, sir. We do have.
You do have WhatsApp group, right? Okay. So I will share you the CDA now. Okay. So whoever signs and sends me back the CDA, they will get feasibility and IU. Okay.
Okay.
So by when you are going to send me CDA then? So I'll share it immediately.
Tomorrow evening we can submit the CDA.
But why? It only requires one signature. Why will it take that much time? You can take a photo in your, obviously because most of you does not have scan. So you can take a photo and attach that photo and send it in an email.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, CDA. So make your dad or mom doctors. Let us make them investigator.
Okay. Okay, sir.
And just because I'm doing mail communications so I'll also know how you are drafting and writing the mails. This is also a very important part in clinical trials. Okay.
Sir, in the CDA, do we have, like you said, there is only a minimum information provided about the study, right?
No information is presented in CDA. No information.
Okay, understood.
No information. Only if you sign CDA, only if you agree that you will not leak this information, you will be given information. In feasibility, yes, there will be information.
Understood.
Okay, but in this feasibility, it is a generic one. But in many feasibilities, there will be inclusion exclusion criteria or some basic protocol synopsis. It will be there.
Okay.
Got it. So can I expect it before 11 p.m. 11 a.m. Sorry, tomorrow? It doesn't take much time at all. Believe me, it only take 2-3 minutes. You just have to sign it, fill it, and send it to me. You can do it.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So okay. So this can end. So today we can end our class. I'll send you the email IDs. So all of you are getting your. So WhatsApp number is also there. So okay, anyhow. So are you sure you don't have any queries in these documents now? Prachi, your email ID is capital P.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, then we do not have anything to discuss. Can we close this session? Okay, let me share you the mails. Let me share you the mails, then we can close. Just give me 5 minutes. Okay, guys, I have sent you the mail. So please check your mails. You might have received it.
Sir, I have
Yes.
one last doubt.
What?
I have one last doubt.
Yeah, sure.
So, CDA, the PI details. So the PI can only edit those details which belong. I mean, which with respect to her details only, she can edit, right?
Correct. True.
Okay.
Okay. You will not edit any clause in the CDA. Okay.
Okay.
If you feel the clause are not in your favor, then you can contact the sponsor who has sent it. You can write like why this clause is present. Most of the time there will be standard clauses which are present in CT rules, which so general clauses will be there, not in CT rules. General clauses will be there. That will be standard around all the sponsors most of the time.
Okay. So,
Okay.
so PI can only edit with respect to her information or the site information as well.
Correct. True.
Okay. Okay. That's
Okay.
it.
So does anyone have anything to say again?
Sir, I didn't receive any mail.
Yeah, you will receive. Mine is Outlook. It takes some times to connect with Google.
Okay, sir.
So you will receive. Don't worry. What's your mail ID?
ashwatianna81@gmail.com.
Aswati. Yeah, aswatianna81@gmail.com, right?
Yes, sir.
Just
No, I
have,
didn't receive.
Hmm?
I too didn't receive the mails.
Yeah, you check in spam as well. You guys check in spam junk folders, you will receive. Definitely. Right? So it will take some 4 to 5 minutes. You will receive. And you will just take a printout of it. Okay. Write your information or type the information, sign it as a PI, and just take a photo, proper photo. Most of actually we have to sign and scan and send the document, but you take a photograph and we have to put the stamp of your PI bottom. But as we do not have any stamp, so you just write stamp there. Okay. So you will make sure that you have to put stamp.
Can this be electronically signed?
Yeah, this can be electronically signed also. Yes.
Okay.
So few are doing it, most are doing it manually. But many are preferring manual these days because that's easy.
What is the basic rules there? It should be like, as a manually signed or a electronically signed.
Like there is no basic rule in this. Okay, it
Okay.
depends on sponsor to sponsor what sponsor accepts. Some will accept electronic signature, some won't accept electronic signature. And electronic signature, like it would be proper electronic signature. Like Adobe gives you electronic signature, right?
Yeah.
It should not be your only signature mark there. There will be Adobe's electronic signature that will give you timestamp when it was signed, etc. So that can be verified digitally.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
So those kind of signatures sponsors accept.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Then I believe I'll get the CDA tomorrow. So once I get the CDA, I'll send the feasibility to whoever has sent the CDA. Okay. Then you fill the feasibility, and I'll also share the IU. Then you fill the feasibility and IU. And if you are getting any doubts in filling it, just post in WhatsApp. If required, we will have a session tomorrow also. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye, sir. Happy weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
you.